Hey, sis.
Hey, sis, you're alive. You did it.
Oh my God, we survived the mitzvah weekend.
Survived. It was a blast, at
We
least for me as a
thrived. Yeah.
guest. Yes.
Oh, yeah. It was a lot as the hostess.
I bet.
But
You had a blast, it looked like. So
I had a blast. And I think it's ironic that we have a food podcast about, food and family. And I didn't take one bite of the menu that I'd planned for the last year the entire night. I literally had not one bite of food. And and you barely had any.
Yeah, I signed off on that menu, final check.
Yeah, you and I had to go back and forth on that menu a lot.
Yeah, and Mom's like, "Did you have the meatballs?" I was like, "No."
Yeah, I didn't have any of it.
Did you have there was caviar?
Yeah, wait, what was that? Somebody said something about caviar. I did not sign off on that. I mean, I hope I don't see that on the bill, on some additional bill. Where was there caviar?
I don't remember approving that.
Yeah, I don't remember either. And if there was caviar, why didn't I would have actually made time to have some of that.
They should have saved us a little 10.
I mean, the food was beautiful. It looked beautiful. The cacio e pepe and the Parmesan wheel and the salads and the wood-fired pizzas. I'm sorry that I gave you the middle finger to get out onto the dance floor and told you had to stop eating.
I had one stuffed zucchini at the cocktail hour. And then we had to go get ready for the entrance. And then after all running around, I finally got to get a plate of pasta and a piece of pizza. And I'm sitting there eating with Lance. And Courtney is yelling at me and her best friend Ellie to get on the dance floor. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And Lance's like, you finish that goddamn piece of pizza right now.
Well, I know, because by that point, we'd probably had so many cocktails. But I just, I felt like there was that moment where the kids weren't on the dance floor and I wanted to dance with my friends. And it was just, I was out there dancing by myself, basically. And then I was like, if I needed to get you and Ellie out there so that we could get the party started. And we did. I mean, we did. You choked that one piece of pizza. I came home and I made a quesadilla and queso. So at midnight, and that's what I had.
On point for you.
I was stressing so hardcore. I don't know if Mom even told you, but we were in the car from the temple to the party, and we were kind of running behind. This is when you were on the double-decker bus with 65 kids. Yeah, chaperoning the bus. Thank you for doing a solid.
It was fun.
Yeah, and so I was in the car and I'm like, we're running late and everything. And I was, oh my God, and da-da-da. And Jason's like, Courtney, it's a matter of 15 minutes. Like cocktail hour will go an extra 15 minutes. I'm like, well, it can't because we have this grand entrance and da-da-da-da-da. And Mom's like, honey, you just need a martini. And I was like, you're right. I do need a martini. And Jason's like, get this lady a martini. So they were all like, and Big D's like, yeah, just have a martini. Like everybody was like, we need to get her a cocktail ASAP. And I go, I'm sorry, I know I'm mentally ill, but when it comes to party planning and all this, I get really amped up and just bear with me, everybody. Just let me process it. And so I thought, oh, I'm going to text my party planner because she had been texting me. And I'm like, I'm en route. And then I was like, could you please have Tito's martini up with slightly dirty with some blue cheese olives waiting for me? And she was like, on it. So not only was it I pulled into valet and one of her girls was standing outside waiting for me with a martini when I got out of the car. And all of my friends were arriving at that time and they were just cracking up. They were like, wow, this is Courtney's party. Here I am. So it definitely took the edge off. I'm not going to lie, she saved the day.
It didn't dawn on you to have one waiting for me after I'd been with your daughter and all of her kids on a double-decker bus in the pouring rain that thankfully had the roof on it, but no sides.
Wait, I saw that. But I had to make the call to put the roof on the double-decker bus, but they don't close in the windows?
No.
So we all getting wet?
Yes. It was kind of sprinkling. The funny thing is they're blaring music, and then anybody that was on the street, they would just be like, I love your Tesla, or I love your red shirt, just to have an interaction with people. Oh my God.
Were drivers cracking up seeing these kids?
Yes. Or it's also LA. So they were like, what the hell?
Yeah. But did I tell you the martini drama that happened before the party? The martini glass drama? Okay. No. So a few weeks prior, 2 weeks before this event, I went to another bar mitzvah at the same space, the same event location. And I order my martini as I do, and it comes in a wine glass, Whitney. And I was like, what is
With
this?
ice
like this?
Or just?
No, it didn't have ice in it. They I ordered my martini really cold, blah, 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 but it comes in a wine glass. I was like, oh my God. I was like, our party's in 2 weeks. I'm known for my martinis. Martinis are my brand. I cannot have. So apparently, I think I told the party planner, I told the venue, the food and beverage person at the venue, like, I think I made a big deal out of it, maybe one too many times. I guess I didn't know. I was just really paranoid. I'm like, you don't understand. Martinis are my thing. Like, I have to have real martini glasses at this event. So I made such a stink about it in a polite way. Like, I wasn't demanding. I was just like, I just need to make sure that there's real martini glasses. And so she sent me the food and beverage person said, here, we have 3 different kinds. Pick your fucking martini glass.
Right? Get off my ass, lady.
Yeah, exactly. What kind do you want? Stemless, whatever. And I'm like, the tall one is really nice. Thank you. So there were plenty of martini glasses. I was happy to report. And
it's really, really funny you say that.
Yeah.
Because I went and got my martini once we got into the actual party of it. And he puts it in a martini glass. I'm like, this is never going to work. And I had him put it in a wine glass.
What?
On ice with a straw.
Stop it. You've got to be kidding me. I'm angry with you right now. That's sacrilegious. You put it over ice and in a wine glass?
Sometimes I drink mine on the rocks.
I know you do, but I don't understand that.
I also was like, I can't have this martini
sloshing
everywhere. And
but the food but the bar was like open bar unlimited. So I guess you could, if you sloshed it out, just get another one.
I needed it. And I needed it intravenously.
Right. I know. It was intense, especially getting off a bus with 60 kids screaming, singing Miley Cyrus.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
I mean, it's kind of perfect that we have all these martini stories being who the guest is today on this podcast.
It is. You want to go ahead and do the honors?
Oh, I mean, why don't you? I mean, this man, Caleb, is just... Okay, let's just say that...
Yeah, you kind of
I found
brought him into our lives.
I found him. I was doing some research on other podcasts of who we might have good collaborations with, and I came across a podcast called Making a Martini. I mean, how... brilliant and perfect is that? I mean, I literally DM'd him immediately and I was like, hi, I'm Courtney from Hey Sis Eat This podcast. We love martinis. Here, listen to this episode. Like, because I just sent him like a link to our site. We're holding martinis and the thing.
Right.
So he responded immediately, oh my God, this is great. And we struck up a friendship and he and his brother came on and their mom even came on for a while. Yeah, Ian and Caleb came on.
First time we've ever had a mom other than Momma Ashley.
Yes. And we talk martinis. We talk funny family stories. I mean, so many funny things. They were hilarious, but it's just like kismet that we met this guy.
And then we're going to be on his podcast. We're going to be on Making a Martini. We're recording tomorrow.
Yeah, we're recording tomorrow.
About event planning and party throwing. And we'll have lots more to share about the bat mitzvah with that podcast.
I mean,
but I haven't even made my martini yet. You are over there. I was going to show the
2 hours ahead of you. It's cocktail hour in LA. It's probably like bedtime over there where you are. Well, also, I'll say that, I mean, it's just an observation. Look how martinis just unite us all. It's just this backdrop of our existence. Oh, what are you doing? Are you going to make one?
I'm making one.
Okay. All right.
I wanted to show our audience. We talk so much about it.
Yeah.
And I also want to show the elevated cocktail shaker.
Yep.
Okay, this thing is amazing.
Yeah. You don't freeze your hands
my
off.
Ice in there. And I think what's really cool, I know you don't measure. You just balls to the walls with your vodka, but I kind of measure because, so I'm pouring.
Because you have somewhat self-control.
No, because if I don't, then I just get hammered real fast. That is my 5 ounces of vodka. And I'm not even going to put the olive juice in yet. I'm going to do it on the side.
I always do it after.
Hey Sis. And the key to this wonderful martini shaker is I don't like to screw it all the way on because the pressure builds up and you can't get it open. But
yeah, I learned that too.
Are you getting
I hear the shake.
A lady boner over there?
I'm getting a boner. I'm getting the biggest boner. But also, I'm getting a martini boner. But also, what's so nice about that insulated martini shaker is your hands don't stick to it after you've shaked it because it's so cold, like you can actually get your hands off of it.
Yep.
Oh, your nails look nice.
Oh, thank you. Sometimes you have to take that off to get it off. So, but what am I doing? I have to put that back on. I'm so used to.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you don't want to get those ice shards in there. Well, you do want to get the ice shards. Listen, before this episode, I decided to do a little research on martinis since we're having Caleb on.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of purists think that you shouldn't have the ice shards in the martini. But I actually think that's the best part is how cold it gets.
What's their reasoning?
Because it waters down the alcohol. I guess that must be for true alcoholics, not lightweights like us.
Okay, I'm going straight up olive juice from the jar.
From the olive jar.
And then I have a blue cheese jalapeno stuff.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, baby.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers. Yes. If you haven't had the Dirty Sis, just cannot recommend it enough.
I can't recommend it enough either. Takes the edge off, makes you like people more. It's really just all around a wonderful cocktail.
I saw a really, really interesting version of a dirty martini on The Kitchen on the Food Network that Jeffrey Zakarian did. It's an olive oil martini recipe.
Ooh. With olive oil in the martini?
Yes, it was. I want to do it. I mean, I know Mom's going to be on board, but his uses gin. You could use you could use vodka, but the day before you want the martini, I know that sounds ridiculous, but you take like a large mason jar and you put gin and really good olive oil and thyme, and you shake it vigorously, and then you let it infuse for 12 hours.
Okay.
And then you put the jar into the freezer.
Okay.
And what do you think happens with the olive oil?
It sinks to the bottom or goes to the top?
It solidifies.
Oh.
So you can like take that olive oil off of it.
Oh.
And then you make
have the
your martini that way.
Okay.
Doesn't that
with
sound
thyme?
Cool?
With thyme?
I think that's with the gin. You know, I think that'd probably go better with the gin.
Yeah.
I would probably go just straight up.
That's another thing I learned too today in my studies of martinis is that gin's the traditional way to do it. You know, it didn't happen until like the 50s that the vodka came on the scene. Thank God the vodka did, because I mean, I don't hate gin. I don't hate it, but I don't prefer it. I would have like a gin cocktail, but I prefer my martini with the vodka. But I was laughing that it really became in vogue in the 50s and 60s when executives were having they call it the 3 martini lunch. Can you imagine having 3 martinis at lunch and going back? I think the productivity must have really gone down in the 50s and 60s if people were having 3 martini lunches.
I think maybe at that time, the typical martini was like a 3-ouncer. Don't you think?
I don't know, but good Lord.
I can't imagine having 3 I can't have 3 martinis in a night unless it's like over several hours.
Oh, me either. I don't know what you're talking. Yeah, me either. Not at all. Never. Anyway, we should get into the episode, introduce Caleb and
we
Ian.
should, but I do want to promote one more thing.
Oh, yeah.
We are on another podcast this week, which is so exciting. We are on Amy Epstein's podcast, The Seam, and she is the founder of an amazing foundation that is honoring her mother. She started it because her mother passed away from ovarian cancer, and it is called the Lynn Cohen Foundation. It has been around for over 20 years. They just had a massive fundraiser where Chelsea Handler spoke, and really cool. It's all about women's health.
Yeah, they have 3 or 4 clinics around the country where you can go get free mammogram screenings and BRCA gene testing and all of these things that help women, just know what's going on with their bodies, health and wellness. And she's really done so much for women's health. It's unbelievable, all in honor of her mother. And, what's so cool is like when we talk to our guests, everybody comes on to honor moms on Hey Sis Eat This. But what's so cool is like her entire life's work is about honoring her mother. So kudos to Amy and all the work that she's done. It was an honor being on her show. And she is coming on our show. We have recorded it and it'll be coming out soon. So stay tuned for that. But definitely check out The Seam this week. And
that's SEAM.
Hear our crazy story.
Yeah. That was actually very tame.
Yeah, we were very tame for us. We tried to keep it all about how together we are. Health and wellness. As she's like, you shouldn't drink alcohol. But not really.
Right. No. But yeah, that was fun. So Caleb and Ian, I'm so excited for this episode. They are so fun. We had a blast. Like we said, first time we've ever had a mama on to join us at the rapid fire portion, which I think is maybe something we need to do in the future.
We should get some feedback from the audience. If they like it, let us know.
Yes, please do so.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's do it.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, sis.
Hey, sis. Well, to any of the regulars out there listening and any new people listening, we are big martini drinkers. We even have our own signature Dirty Sis Martini. It is the Tito's vodka, no vermouth, blue cheese stuffed olives, preferably homemade, and painfully cold.
Yes. How cold, Whitney?
I want it to freeze my esophagus.
Yes, you do.
So, Courtney, as the universe would have it, we attracted one of today's guests into our lives through the mutual obsession of dirty martinis.
I know. It's very exciting. Caleb Feigels is here with us today, and he's the host of the hilarious podcast, Making a Martini. Can you believe it that we found someone that has a podcast called Making a Martini? I love it. And in fact, it was Kismet for sure. And in fact, he was the 2023 winner of Pittsburgh's best podcast, right? Isn't that correct? Yes. And we're thrilled to be able to chat with this kindred spirit, fellow martini drinker, as well as his brother, Ian. Gentlemen, welcome to Hey Sis Eat This.
Oh, thank you so much for having us.
Welcome, brothers. We're very excited to have y'all on today. And we just recently met, so we can't wait to dive in and learn all about y'all. So Caleb's here with his brother, Ian, not only to discuss martinis, mamas, and memories, but tomorrow is Caleb's birthday.
Yeah.
So we felt like we had to go ahead and have a celebration with you this evening and join you in the martini bus.
Yes. We have diverted from our usual dirty sis. I see you have olives in yours. I had to make it it's more of like a sweet sis today because I was trying to just kind of make it a sort of an afternoon, an afternoon martini with like kind of a Cosmo-ish martini because, the kids aren't even home from school yet. And, what would happen? I wouldn't be able to do homework if I was getting after it with the full dirty sis. But happy birthday, Caleb. Are you sharing your age?
Yes, I am 33 tomorrow. We're, I guess, in 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 hours.
33,
flirty and thriving.
I love it.
Ian, you're supposed to be in Pittsburgh with your brother, I thought, for his birthday. No, you're not going to make it this year?
No, I'm looking to come up on Sunday for a little hot tub and hopefully some marijuana with my brother.
Yes. I am dog sitting for my mom while she goes to Canada.
Oh.
And Ian's going to come up and they have a hot tub. And so we're going to drink and hot tub, play games.
And take a tub.
Drink.
Sounds
watch
amazing.
some movies, smoke some weed.
Drink.
Can we come?
Yes. Please do.
Oh, that would be so fun. So how far apart in age are y'all? Who's the oldest?
I am the oldest.
I am 26. We got a 7-year age gap.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because we're 6
you guys
years.
Too? Oh, you're 6.
Yeah.
We're 6 years apart. So, it was so interesting growing up because we were always a whole generation older almost than these kids. So, yeah.
But I think that like that big of an age gap really solidified our relationship as like friends, because I feel like the closer you are, the harder it is, because there's this like not animosity, but because you're sort of going through the same things at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Sure. Whereas competition sometimes.
Yes. Yeah. But we were far enough apart where like when I was going through something as like, you know, a teenager, Ian was going through something as like a child, and then it just like it just like revolves. Like, I became a young adult, Ian became a teenager, and then now I'm 33, he's 26. And so it really, I think, made our relationship that much better because of how far apart we were.
Did y'all get along as children? Because we didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really
did.
I was a really bitchy older sister. I
can't really think of a single time where we had like a really big fight.
But y'all were pals.
Not until we moved, but that was because I was mad about moving.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, we moved to Ohio when in his junior year.
Senior year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
Which is tough for him.
That is tough.
I had graduated college at this point, and there was just one night I remember it very vividly where like it came to blows. No one got hurt, but like that was like the one time where the age difference was like an issue. But that was, that was, I was like 26 at that point, I think. Your age,
17,
and you would have been.
So you were 24, 25.
Yeah. So 17 years worth of his life before we had an actual fight.
Wow, that's good. That's a good streak. That's a good long streak.
I think so. And honestly, I don't think since that time there's ever been an issue, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I think the only other time you were mad at me is when I ratted you out for skipping school. But I don't think you could really be that mad at me.
That wasn't your fault. That was my
okay.
fault. I can't wait to get into that. But quickly, Caleb, I just want you to tell our listeners a little bit about your podcast, Making a Martini, and your inspiration in starting it.
So Making a Martini started back in initially the idea started in 2019, but it actually was released in 2020, as many a COVID podcast was.
It was a COVID podcast, baby.
Yeah, I quite literally was. I was sitting in my apartment and I was just like, I've got to do something. My creative like outlook, like I was a music theater major. Like I'm a creative person. I like performing. I like being in front of people. And this was the closest thing I could get to. 2020 was a crazy year. And I always tell people, the real reason that I started was because I just always wanted to do a podcast. But the joke reason is that I was like, I'm trying to argue with people online and I'm not doing a good job. So I need to learn more about the world so I can bully people.
I love that your slogan is grab your vodka and olives, because this podcast calls for both. It's just so well said.
It does. It really does. But it really became something that was unexpected on my part, because I thought it was going to be funny. I thought it was going to be, lighthearted, which a lot of the time it is. But there are some episodes where I'm like, oh, wow, we like really did some shit. Like we talked about some real issues.
Yeah.
People have cried. People have, gone off. And it became something that I was very, very excited to be a part of, while also still being completely ridiculous and talking about, why I think Grease 2 is better than Grease 1, because it is.
What would you say would be kind of like your elevator pitch when you tell people what the podcast is about?
I would say this is a show for anyone who wants to learn more about the randomness of the world.
I love it.
I think because the thing of it is that there isn't like one theme for my podcast, right? I think there's an episode for everyone, and not everyone is going to like every episode. Like I do think that sometimes I get a little political, sometimes I get a little sexual, sometimes I get a little just completely hammered.
Caleb, we know what you do, but Ian, fill us in on what you're up to there in Cleveland.
So this year I became a licensed realtor, real estate sales agent. So I have been getting into the real estate scene.
Commercial or residential?
Right now, residential. Commercial is the dream.
Yeah.
But I've been working with some investors, and it's really interesting. But it doesn't pay the bills. I'm 8 months green, so I also work at a country club.
Ooh, yeah. Are you a caddy?
No, I am the receptionist. So everybody that comes in gives me their number.
Yeah.
I give them a towel.
Right.
That's the extent of my job.
Have you seen the TV show Red Oaks?
Red Oaks, I have not.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
I mean, so just good. Add that to your
You've
list.
Seen
it's
it.
so good.
Of course, Caleb, you have. Yeah. So as wonderful as you two brothers are, we're really here to kind of celebrate that mama of yours. You've told us a little bit about her, Caleb. So why don't you dive in a little deeper for our listeners about the fabulous Momma Jeannine?
Momma Jeannine. So she is what I would say sort of the quintessential caregiver to me.
Not so much to Ian.
Not to Ian, no. no. I'm the firstborn, which means that I am much more important. No, actually, like throughout our entire childhood, the joke was that Ian was the golden child and that he could get away with anything. And that was true. That was true. He was the baby. Like, like the things that I would do, like I think like a quintessential way to put that would be like, I had to wait until I was 16 to get a cell phone. And we're talking like a chunk of cell. Like this was not an iPhone. This was not like anything. Ian got one at like 13.
Right.
12.
12.
Yeah.
Well, with the age
they were a little bit more
difference,
accessible at that point, but still. But she is someone who has unconditional love for both of us, for both of our personalities, because we are very different in the idea of the grand scheme of things, like the world.
Mm-hmm.
But yet still very, very similar in our, sort of values and love for each other and for her and for our family and different things like that.
It's really beautiful.
So I think that like that's who she's always been to me.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna cry.
Ian, do you want to elaborate a little more? Tell us about your thoughts on Momma Jeannine.
Momma Jeannine is the best person I know. She's not just Momma Jeannine to us. She's Momma Jeannine to everybody.
A lot of people.
Her family, her mom,
my God,
our cousins, her brothers and sisters, even our friends. I mean, literally, my best friend here calls mom Momma J.
Oh, wow.
So that kind of got me when you guys are calling her Momma Jeannine. That's funny because she's Momma J for everybody. That's the best way to put it.
I love that. We call our mom Mama Ashley. Our last name is Ashley, but somebody just started that and it stuck and now everybody calls her.
All our friends.
Yeah.
Mama Ashley to the whole neighborhood.
Does Momma Jeannine share your love, Caleb, of the martinis?
She does not. In fact, I think I'm the only person in my family that shares the love of the martini.
Wine.
Oh, see, our mom loves to throw back a martini with us. We do share that, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
I love that.
But be careful when you get the three of us together and we start drinking martinis.
Now, I will say, be careful when you get the two of us together and we start drinking because it'll be red wine, it'll be champagne, I'll probably have a martini.
Whatever you have.
Yeah.
Do you have like a fun drunk mom story that you could share with us?
Yes. Yes, I do. So there was, I don't know how many Christmases ago it was. I want to say it's like 2 or 3. And we got this game called The Dude.
Okay.
And the game of The Dude is basically charades, but with a blow-up doll.
Oh.
And it's like a life-size blow-up doll.
Did you get this at Hustler or where?
Write that down.
I'm pretty
Write
sure
that
we
name
got
down,
it at
Whitney.
Target.
Okay.
It's since been discontinued.
What's the blow-up doll? Like, was it clothed or was it like?
It was clothed. Yeah.
Okay.
It was just like, it was almost like a beach bum like style.
Yeah.
Like he like had like a headband. He was dressed all in green. He had sunglasses. It was just this bizarre thing. And essentially what you do is you pick a card and you have to act out an action with the dude because that's what the blow-up doll is called.
Oh my God,
and like so we're there together on Christmas. And
is it the 4 of y'all?
It was my mom's family. So I think there was like 10 of us.
Like grandma and grandpa were there?
Grandma, grandpa, cousins, uncles, aunts, Ian and I truly do not remember what the actual action was that she was supposed to be doing with the dude. But I will say that it wound up being, because I mean, wine had been consumed. We had a good time. That's what you got to do on Christmas.
Yeah.
She didn't mean for it to be, but it came off the most sexual interaction with this blow-up doll to the point where Ian and I know for sure, we were just sitting there and our jaws dropped and we went, and everyone is howling. I wish I remembered what like the actual action was.
And you're like,
but that is one of my favorite. No, honestly, like I don't even think she was really that drunk, to be honest. I think she was just trying to play the game.
She's just letting off some steam. It's really hard on moms on Christmas Day, okay? Like the pressure that we all have to get it all done, cook the meals. I mean, I'm not kidding. When we spend Christmas like with my mom and then we start drinking champagne at like 9 a.m. I mean, that's just not a joke. We just, yeah.
Mimosas.
And it goes on all day. And it usually ends up in like a cry fest around 9 p.m. At least it has in some years. One year our cousin yelled at another guest at the party and ran out and couldn't find her way out of the house and ended up in the garage. I mean, there's always, it's always
bad.
But
that was white trash Christmas.
Sounds way more fun with the blow up doll.
Christmas is always better with a blow up doll.
We got to get that game.
We have got to get that game.
What's the name of it again? I don't even know
who has the game at this point, but it's so much fun.
Totally find it on eBay.
Yeah,
What's it called?
The Dude.
I believe it's called The Dude. Yeah.
Well, we know there's a lot more to Momma Jeannine than drinking and playing with blow-up dolls. So, Ian, give us a little background on Momma Jeannine.
A little background on Momma Jeannine.
Where she's from, how she met your dad, like those kind of general things.
Momma Jeannine was from Beaver, Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow. Never heard of.
Tiny little town outside of Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. She met Dad. Mm-hmm. She met Dad at a restaurant, I believe, where she was a waitress.
Yep.
Oh, cute.
And he asked her on a date.
Was he getting dinner there, or was he working as well?
He frequented the restaurant because of her.
I think there was a specific booth in her section that he would go to, something along those lines. Mm-hmm. And he asked her out then, and as far as I know, that was the end of it.
That was all she wrote.
Yeah.
And are they still together?
No.
Yeah.
But
same with ours.
It was a good run.
Yeah. Well, we all had to come from somewhere,
Exactly. So. But she very much liked to experiment with different things.
Oh, great.
For sure. And try like new things, try new recipes, whether they worked or they didn't.
Yeah.
She was ready. Yeah.
I love
very
that.
Much like a recipe.
She wasn't afraid to try.
No.
I thought a lot of the recipes did. I liked most of them because they were not too crazy. Nothing was,
Yeah.
She knew what we liked and she made it, a different way,
And did y'all gather around the dinner table every night to have these meals?
Every night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was absolutely family dinner. Unless like one of us had something. It was good. It was very, I'll be honest. Like, I think like our family ate very fast, like to where I am now as a person where I'm like, I like to take my time and relax and savor. I'm like, oh man, we were like 10 minutes and it was time to go. But it was fun. Like, it was very much like conversation. It was very almost like Stepford in a way. And it was like, tell us about your day. What did you do? Tell us something you learned at school. Etc.
It's beautiful. She made it a priority to bring everyone together and have a meal together.
For sure. Yeah.
And we had game night or movie night. One of the two.
Yeah, usually like dinner was followed with some sort of activity.
Even on school nights?
Yeah, on a weeknight?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what kind of games did you play?
Ooh.
Uno was a good one. We always played a lot of Uno.
We did a lot of Sequence was a big one.
Oh, my kids love that game. But again, another mom making me look bad. Like, I'm like, as soon as dinner's over, I'm like, get to bed right now. Mama's had it, Take a shower and get to bed. I'm done. I do not have it in me to play Sequence or Uno after dinner on a weeknight. Now, on a weekend, it's more like, I'm really done. I'm really tired. We can lay in bed and watch a movie, but, but I'm an older mom.
We would do that too. Like, I would say, honestly, like maybe every Friday we would, I don't know why, but it was a ritual that we would go to Sam's Club, go grocery shopping. We would find a movie and that Friday night we would watch it.
Oh, cute.
Like after dinner and after everything was done.
Well, were there any standout dishes that were your favorites then, favorites now?
I have maybe two.
Okay.
That I would say. And maybe one's like a little bit more now than when we were growing up, but like we would do taco, like Mexican themed night up like nobody's business. Like we were talking like, full blown tacos, enchiladas, the rice, the bean, like
oh my gosh, like a whole thing.
It was a whole
dishes
thing.
that fit each topping.
Yeah, and like multiple types of enchiladas. Like there was like buffalo chicken, there was regular, there was
whoa. Enchiladas and tacos on the same night. It was like Mexican food night.
Yeah.
And she'd make it all from scratch?
Yeah. Well, I think like the tacos were probably like the packs. But
well, yeah. I mean, we still do that.
Right.
But like rolling up meat
and cheese. Yeah.
Tortillas.
That. And then the other thing that I would say was that our mom can grill the fuck out of some chicken on a grill.
Oh, that is impressive.
Like it, just like grilling in general, to be honest.
Okay.
Like it doesn't really matter.
Like a secret recipe for that or something? Is there a certain way she does it? Because that's going to be so boring. Because I was going to say, would you teach us so we can put it on our website? But she's one of those moms. Okay, fine. We get it. Our mom won't share her brownie recipe either. That's great. That's a real talent though, because chicken's hard.
It is. It is hard. It's intimidating. It is still even to me, as much as we cook. What about a dreaded dish? Was there something that was served up and you're just like, oh, not again?
I just didn't think Caleb really liked the meatloaf that much, but
no, and I still don't.
I enjoy the meatloaf.
It's not even particularly hers. I just don't enjoy it. I'm like the texture and like the material. I'm just like, this is disgusting. And I will say that this is sort of, I guess, a grandmother story. My grandmother one time made salmon loaf.
Oh.
Yeah. And I did not like it. And she forced me to sit at the table and eat the entire thing. I remember finding a bone in it at one point, and I was like, I would rather die than eat this.
That's really traumatizing.
But I think that like ruined me for meatloaf.
Yeah. Meatloaf or salmon loaf? Oh, just any loaf.
Any loaf.
Olive loaf.
Yeah. What about like a banana loaf or something? A sweet loaf. Is that okay?
No
loaves. We've sworn off loaves.
Very traumatizing.
Jeez. Yeah. What about the food around the holidays? Were there certain dishes that she prepared every year that were, traditional family dishes? Or
Mom has a specialty where she makes a ham with a bottle of 7-Up and pineapples, brown sugar, some other stuff, and that is what I look forward to every year. She also saves the bone nowadays and turns it into the best ham and bean soup I've ever had.
Oh my God, that sounds so good.
Caleb and I tried to replicate it one year, and I think we did a pretty damn good job.
I think we did too.
We made the ham. Yeah. We did the brown sugar. We did the whole 9. It was delicious. That and the scalloped potatoes. That's what I personally looked forward to every year. They're out of a box, but they're the better when she makes them every year.
Yeah, I cannot replicate scalloped potatoes out of a box like my mom can. I can't.
And so is that just like the powdered potato mix?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yum. Well, we might need to have that
from Mom.
Ham and beans soup recipe.
Yeah, that sounds really
good.
With a ham and beans soup.
Yeah.
With that nice ham hock that's already been cooked. Oh my gosh.
Any leftover ham, just chop it up and throw it in there.
She was a little chefy. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And would y'all have over family? Was it a big to-do, or was it more of like an intimate kind of setting?
Well, Grammy came over every year.
Yeah,
in the morning.
It really spectrumed, to be honest. So like in the morning, we would have like chafing dishes of eggs and sausage and bacon for like 5 people. Because why not?
Yeah, like a catered party for 5 people.
Hors d'oeuvres and everything.
For breakfast.
And then we would do like a bigger dinner with like the ham, and that would be a little bit more involved when it came to people. Mm-hmm. And we really did kind of live a good distance from my mom's side of the family to where we lived very close to my dad's side of the family. So we would have like a Christmas dinner with my dad's side, and then we would have like a week later a full other set dinner with my mom's side of the family.
That's cool.
To like celebrate. So like we really got 2 giant Christmas dinners.
Yeah, Christmas part 2.
Yeah. So she put a lot of attention and detail into making Christmas very special for you boys. It sounds.
Well, she would stay up until like the wee hours of the night especially because of like our age difference, right? Between Ian and I. was that I got to, and I hope there's no children listening to this episode, but
just a few, it's okay.
I got to like experience like him going through the belief of Santa and and that idea of sort of like keeping that
the
sort
magic.
of magic alive. Mm-hmm. So I was cued in, I understood, but that was really special for me to like see him go through that as well, but then also see like the effort that like my mom put into making that magic happen.
Yeah,
that was big. I mean, that was big for me when I was growing up.
Do you remember me and the magic of Christmas?
Oh, I don't know. I was so focused on me that I'm not sure that I really thought, I was more concerned if I was getting, leather pants or something. I don't know. I don't think I focused on you, but clearly she has a reverence for tradition and holidays and really making you boys feel special. Were there any other family traditions that were important to Momma Jeannine, Caleb?
New York was always a very like coveted sort of goal for me. Like that's where I want to end up in my life, even now, like today. Mm-hmm. And I was a very big music theater kid. Like I went to college for it. It's what my degree's in. And a lot of that comes from the fact that we would go to New York and we would travel there and we would see these shows and we would do these things. And I was like, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. And then eventually when we stopped going to see shows with like school, because like you go on school trips, like chorus trips and things like that, we started going by ourselves. And that was huge. That was such a big deal to me. And we've really kind of kept that tradition alive.
Wow.
Ever since. Like,
still and that was, to this day, you go to New York together?
Yeah, I think 8th grade was like the year that we went and saw Chicago. And it was like a surprise. Like I knew we were going. And I would say like, if not every year, every other year, we would go and we would see something. And ultimately what wound up happening was that my mom and I would just travel by ourselves and we would go see things. And we've seen some amazing stuff. Big Fish, like the Tim Burton movie. They made a musical of it.
Oh, sweet.
We were in like the second row.
Oh my gosh.
Sobbing.
Yeah.
Because the show was so beautiful. Like ugly crying. It was embarrassing.
Yeah. Do y'all go the same time?
I cannot get through a Broadway show without crying. It's just the magic of the live music and the actors on stage. I mean, just as soon as the lights go up, I'm like, oh, I don't know. Yep. I'm a musical theater geek as well. So I get it. Yep. What a sweet mama. I love that. I think my mom was like, oh my God, if I have to listen to Les Miserables one more time in this car, I am going to blow my brains out.
Do you remember your first show that you ever saw on Broadway?
Lion King.
Oh my God. That made me cry the moment that first chord.
The moment it started.
Pennsylvania. And then I'm gone. I know
all those animals like walking down like that. That show is.
I just got chills.
I have chills right now too.
You've seen it, right?
No, I have not seen it. It is coming to Dallas. I know it's not Broadway, but
but
it's
still,
like
it'll be the same
you like pee your pants the moment it starts.
Like when they see Mufasa's face in the stars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So good.
Yeah.
Yes. What a sweet mama. I love this. Any other fun memories come up for you for family vacations, Ian?
I love that whenever we go anywhere, no matter where it is, California, LA, Kentucky in the backwoods, we always take pictures where we as a family look, we were all murdered. And we lay on each other and we stick our tongues out and then we get all blatant and we're laying on each other. It's hilarious. And then somebody takes a picture. Sometimes we'll even set the camera up somewhere and we'll get everybody in it.
When we all just look like we're dead.
Yeah,
right. I was like, how does that go?
Have people watch us taking the pictures, staying out of the pictures, wondering what the hell we're doing.
You have people taking pictures of you, taking pictures of yourself because you look like such freaks doing that, probably.
Exactly. We've been doing that since I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah, I think it was Canaan. We went to Canaan Valley and we were walking down like this like waterfall experience almost. Yeah. And we just started like laying on the ground and people would take our picture and we just acted dead. And to the point where like we were holding people up.
Oh,
because
so
it was
fabulous.
a staircase to get down to see the waterfall.
Fabulous. Do you mind if I take this tradition and start using it on my own family? I think this is one of the most brilliant things I've ever heard in my life. And by the way, if Dad had thought of that, my dad's real dark, and that would have been really good. Oh my God.
I feel like I've heard of people taking ones where they like pretend to be sleeping, but pretending to be dead, I have not heard that. And was that something that you boys came up with?
Yeah. Did
I don't actually
Momma
remember
Jeannine
who came up with
this?
It was probably Aunt Barbara.
I think it would be our aunt, my mom's sister.
We have an Aunt Barbara too.
Oh, Babs.
Yeah. But we would literally lay on the stairs in reverse, like as if we had fallen.
And me and Mimi just did this. Mimi's 70 or 68 or something, and we just did this at like a Target or something. I don't remember where we were, but it wasn't anything significant.
Your grandmother?
The gender reveal party.
Oh yes, it was me and Mimi at a gender reveal party. Yes, and
oh my god, we're going to need that picture to put on our social media.
We will send it.
We need lots of as many dead pictures as you can find. We're going to do a collage.
We'll do a montage. That is really a genius.
And like Momma Jeannine would participate in this as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's funny.
I really love Momma Jeannine.
Momma Jeannine might be the most enthusiastic one about the dead pictures.
Yes.
Me or her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Momma Jeannine sounds like a lot of fun.
So fun.
But what would happen when you boys got into any kind of mischief?
Where do we start? The most I've ever been in trouble in my entire life with my mother was we lived a house, a football field, and a tennis court away from our high school. So I was very, very close. It would take me 5 minutes to walk to school, if that.
Lucky.
And because of that, it was very easy for me to skip school. Because I'd just be like, I'll just like walk around the block a while, wait for everyone to leave, and then I'll go back inside. Which I didn't do often, except I did. But there was this one time where I did it, and my mom came back to the house, and I was stuck. And my room was on the 3rd floor of our house, so we had 3 floors. I was on the top floor, and the top floor was shared by an attic that had a door that separated it, but the door locked from like my room with like a little latch.
Mm-hmm.
So the entire day, I'm just like, oh my God, she's not leaving. She's just here. Because the office was on like the landing at the bottom of the stairs from my room. So I had to be so quiet and just like, just like look at the ceiling and she would keep coming up to the 3rd floor.
Sorry, were you in the attic or you were in your room?
Well, I was in my room at this point.
Okay.
However, there was one moment where I heard her coming up the stairs. And I was like, I do not have the time to hide behind my bed. So I ran into the attic and hid behind a pile of clothes. And she came in. And I didn't hear anything. She didn't say anything. And I heard her leave. And I go to leave. And she had latched it from the outside.
Oh, no.
So I am trapped in the attic.
Locked.
This was because she thought you were a ghost.
Exactly. She was like, I called her after school and I was like, hey, I have to stay a little bit later. Like, what are you up to? And she starts going off on this story about how she thought she saw a ghost in the attic and it was my legs.
You're that pale?
Apparently.
You told me you were a white boy.
So she ran out and locked the door because she was scared.
Oh,
and then I was like, I don't know how I'm getting out of here. And so I waited because at that point, I think Ian was like
8,
still in elementary school, like not even middle school, like elementary school. And so I waited and I called him, or no, I called someone and I asked to talk to him. And I was like, Ian, I need you to come up and unlock the door. And then they grilled him about like, what did he want? What did he want? And then ultimately he was like, I don't know, you can call him back and ask him yourself. And then he eventually was like, he said, come over.
It's like, I can't tell you. I said, I can't tell you.
I heard them flying up the stairs.
And so what were you doing all day for 8 hours in the attic, stuck in there? You didn't have a lunch with you? I
literally was just sitting there.
What if you had to pee?
There was nothing in the attic to do.
Were you scared?
No, I wasn't scared. I had to pee.
Yeah.
I was very much like, oh my gosh, like this is terrible. But I just like literally sat on a pile of clothes and was like, well, this is how I go.
So did Ian come?
You're probably singing show tunes all day.
So did Ian come set you free or did they catch you before?
They
caught me.
They got it out of me.
Yeah. That was really like my biggest like crime against, and I was grounded for like 3 days.
Oh, that's not.
You were supposed to be grounded until Mom got home from Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, it was like something crazy, and then it was like 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, she was so relieved that you weren't really a ghost. She's probably like, oh, okay, fine, just 3 days is good, you know.
We don't have to sell the house. Thank God.
Oh my God, exactly right. Yes.
Right.
That is good. Well, you know what? This is so awesome. I love these stories about Momma Jeannine. She sounds just incredible. She's thoughtful. She's generous. She loves you boys. You can tell.
Ian, did you ever get in any trouble?
We were just wondering, have any of you ever gotten in trouble with the law before?
I had a couple run-ins with the law. I think the first time was probably my mom. I have asthma. First, let's get that. I'll be straight up with that. And I love to smoke weed, so it's probably not great. Yeah. When I was in high school, you can't go buy a pipe like you can nowadays. The closest store was an hour and a half away, and you had to have an 18-year-old do it. I turned my inhaler into a bowl.
Oh my God.
So I put the cap on it, and
actually pretty smart,
and I smoked out of the back of it. I took the cartridge out, and I just smoked it. Like, it looks just like a bowl. Yeah. I probably made about 10 or 12 of those things, along with other various paraphernalia. Not that I was selling weed in high school, because that would be terrible.
Oh,
but,
yeah, no.
Stuff that you would see from somebody that was selling weed in high school.
Yeah.
And probably, I think 40 or 50 items were stuffed behind my bed in my drawers. And I was going to a party one night, and somebody stole my bag, so I had to call the police. Well, it just so happens they were already talking to my parents. So they came to pick me up, acting like they were going to help me. And when I walked in the front door, all of my paraphernalia was on the dinner table.
Oh my God.
And while the cops were there, they asked if they could go up into my room. And after they found one piece of paraphernalia, Mom decided to flip my room.
Oh no. Oh no.
The cops at one point told me that they were more scared for me because of her than they were because of them. They said, you want to be out here talking with me, because when you go inside, that's when you're really going to have it. And I didn't get in any trouble with the law, but Mama was not happy.
Oh no.
But I would like to point out that she doesn't like to admit this. Nowadays, Momma J has smoked pot with me 5-6 times. She's eaten edibles.
Oh, everyone eats edibles now,
Exactly.
So cut her some slack. Yeah. You probably love it. I mean, listen.
But I was 14, I think. So,
well, you both are little idiots, and shouldn't throw that out there. Just kidding. You're amazing. Your mom's amazing. She, she's a real hero to put up with you two. And
I would say so.
Really sound like she created a very magical childhood for both of you.
Yeah.
And wow, you're pretty lucky to have a lady like that.
Fuck yeah.
So.
Caleb, you told us that your mom always comes to town on your birthday because she likes to be there when the clock strikes 12 to celebrate you. So
that's really sweet. Oh my goodness. Hi, Mama.
Here she is.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Momma Jeannine.
Hi. Well, this is exciting because we always interview siblings about their moms, and we've never had the mom actually join us in the interview. So this is exciting, and welcome.
This is the first time you've had a mom on the show?
Yes.
Aside from our own.
Aside from our mom. Our mom comes on all the time, Mama Ashley.
So I'm like the second mom.
You're the second mom, right? The first one that's not our own mom.
Momma J in the house.
This is Whitney and Courtney, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, nice.
So good to meet you.
I will tell you that I realized that I completely forgot to tell her that she was going to be at the end of this episode. Up until about like an hour and a half ago, when she was like on her way here. I was like, oh, did I tell you, by the way, that you're going to be on this episode?
You might make an appearance.
Were you nervous?
I didn't have time to be.
No. Well, she's been on mine before.
Are you going to say, are you on Caleb's podcast from time to time?
Just once. He never invited me back.
Oh, Caleb. Well, shame on you. After hearing how great she is, I think she needs to come on a little more.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Mom likes to say that she was going to outshine him. That's why she doesn't get invited back.
That's true. Yeah. People like me better. I don't know.
Honestly, Mama Ashley gets rave reviews, and then she'll say something and be like, well, I don't know. You haven't had me on lately.
Mama Ashley is phenomenal.
And
oh my gosh.
Oh, you do.
Love her. I want to meet her.
She is hysterical. We always end our show with some rapid fire questions. So, Momma Jeannine, will you do us the honor of being a part of this today?
I would love to do that.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, Caleb, who is Momma Jeannine's favorite?
Ian.
Mama, would you agree with this statement?
I would say the one who needs me the most at the moment is my favorite.
Caleb's vomiting up there.
I got that from my mom, by the way.
I think Caleb might have just gotten a little baby spit up on you with that comment.
That's
what my mom
answer.
used to always say to us.
Yeah.
Because I had an older brother and I have a sister, and we would always argue about who's mom's favorite. And that's what she would always say. Whoever needs me the most at that moment, that is my favorite.
Yeah.
That's really sweet. It's kind of true.
That came from my mom.
Yeah.
Love it.
As a mom of two, I totally relate to that. Ian, who makes her laugh the most?
Caleb.
It depends on who I'm with.
Again,
that's true.
If I'm with both of them together, yes, probably Caleb.
Caleb, what is your mom's favorite cuss word?
Bitch.
Oh, Ian, is there a discrepancy?
I think it's shit.
Mom? You want to chime in here?
Where?
Oh, she also likes to drop a hard F-bomb.
Oh yeah,
that's
recently in the past couple of years, she has loved saying fuck.
Yeah,
and it's great.
Now you're all grown up, and why not?
Pissed. That's
okay, so there's a backstory to that.
Okay.
I feel like I need to tell that very quickly.
Okay,
so when I was little, we were in the car getting ready to go to church, and we were waiting for probably my sister, and I said JC, which I cannot say to this day.
Jesus Christ.
We know.
Cheese and
What's
rice.
taking so long? And she backhanded me. And my mom never hit anybody.
Oh my God.
So it scarred me for a very long time. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just not going to do that again. And I'm not going to swear. So then I don't swear very often. But if I do, well, maybe more so now. But if I ever drop the F-bomb, just, you know what, part the Red Seas and get out.
Well, I was going to say, if as Whitney said, cheese and rice got a backslap, then I'd stay off the cussing too for the rest of my life.
Right?
You know? Yeah.
Pardon me.
I know, but Jesus Christ, that's a heavy punishment.
On the way to church.
Yes. Well, I guess that kind of makes sense. You know,
Yeah.
You don't want to take the Lord's name in vain on your way to church.
Right. Yeah.
On a Sunday.
On a Sunday.
On the Lord's Day.
On the Lord's Day. Oh, praise the Lord. Ian, one word to describe Momma Jeannine.
Caring.
Caleb?
Unconditional.
Oh. Momma Jeannine, what is one word to describe Caleb?
I don't think there's so many, but only one word.
Oh my God.
Joyful.
I don't even know how to explain that to the listeners.
We're going to just put it up on a video.
Yeah. That's why we're recording this.
I mean, he made me a mom.
That's true. I'm the first.
That was the only thing I ever wanted in life. So
it was one word.
Sorry. Joy.
Joy. Oh, that's so sweet.
What about Ian? What's one word for him?
Loving.
Troublemaker.
Troublemaker. Yep. Yep. I can see that. Just giving your mama gray hairs. Although you don't, you have beautiful blonde hair. You're gorgeous.
Yes.
Isn't she?
Thank you.
You are
so
very
much.
beautiful. I'm scared to, because I think you're like younger than me, which makes me sad because like I have a 12-year-old.
That done, and I still to this day think they should both pay for my hair appointments.
I do. Yeah, because of what they've done. That's a really good.
Isn't that a great point?
That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to remember that.
Yeah.
There's a lot they should pay for us, don't you think? Liposuction, tummy tucks, boob lifts, all of it, you know?
Yes, all of it.
I know. I'm just making a list. Momma Jeannine, what is your biggest takeaway from hearing your boys talk about you on the podcast today?
I would say that the memories that I worked very, very hard to create for them as they were growing up, I wouldn't really say worked. Everything I did was to help them have great memories of their childhood and to also make sure that they would be able to go out into the world and make a difference. And I feel that they both have done that.
Oh, and you know what? It is work. It is work. But it's love behind that work. And you really have created two beautiful boys that love you so much. And just from these stories today, it just shows how special you are. And wow, it's an honor to meet you. It's an honor to talk to these boys. Yes, love all around. I hope y'all have an incredible birthday celebration for your big boy over there.
What are y'all getting up to tonight?
Champagne at midnight is really our only go-to.
Oh, I love that.
Oh yeah, we need to eat. I need a starch in me.
I know, right? It's time for some fries.
Well, 33 years ago at this moment, I was pregnant.
Yeah.
Crazy thought, right?
I know.
Yeah.
Is that when he was born at midnight?
11:44 a.m.
Yep.
Okay.
Went into labor.
So tomorrow, 11:44 a.m. tomorrow.
I
went into labor at 5 a.m.
So
that's pretty quick.
This time 33 years ago, she was just having a lovely evening.
I was just
she was not having a lovely evening when you're 9 months pregnant. That's not even possible. She's not having a lovely evening. She couldn't drink.
Yeah.
She's her asshole's hanging out. I mean, there was just so many things that it make it not lovely. But you know what? The reward is your lovely face today and getting to celebrate it with you 33 years later. Yeah.
And I'm a gem.
You are. You both are gems.
Yeah, you both are. Great
You're
boys.
both the best thing I ever did in my life.
Well, I think we should have moms on more often.
I know. I think
this is
really
a podcast format.
Sweet.
I think it's really sweet.
I can't possibly handle the editing of that.
Okay, well,
and the scheduling.
Okay. I'm all for it. Anyway, we should end it up so they can go celebrate. But thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah.
End it like we always do.
Thank you, guys.
Love you. Love your show, Court.
Love you. Love your show, Wit.